Hello, good morning. It's Saturday morning, and I'm doing a live chat video, and I will be speaking to people live chat. So if you want to watching this at another time, you can speed through anything you want to your convenience. If you want to watching this at another time, and I am waiting for some people to come into my room. See what we can get into this morning with a cup of coffee. And there's Mina and Cheryl. Hi, guys. And Barb. Yay, Barb. Barb, I took your package to the mailbox to the post office yesterday, and I have a funny story to tell you. We have these boxes in the U.S. Oh, I'm sorry, Barb. I like coffee in my creamer. I like it a little bit blonde. Well, anyway, we have these boxes in the U.S. and they advertise if it fits, it ships. Okay, and it runs about $8 for the a little box. So I thought, oh, okay, I know it's going to Canada. The box is going to Canada, and I thought, well, I know it's going to cost a little bit more, but I got up to the register and she says that'll be $28, and I said, is this regular snail mail? And she says, no, this is priority. You're in a priority box. And I said, well, I thought it was if it fits, it ships for $8. And I wasn't expecting it to cost, like 3 times the amount. Maybe a little more than 8, but not 3 times the amount. And she goes, no, 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 no. And she wasn't this nice. She was very rude. She goes, oh no, this is priority mail, and this goes for this much amount of money, and blah blah blah. And she said, and I said, well, how can I mail this in just a regular mail, snail mail, And maybe she didn't like the word snail. I don't know, but she says, well, it has to be in your own box, So I bring home the box and I wrap it up in this nice brown paper that I have. And so it's going to cost me half that amount to mail it. So it's on its way back to the mailbox, to the post office in my brown paper. But I just didn't realize that there was a difference in those prior. I think they do that on purpose to confuse you. And I also found out, Barb, that you cannot purchase U.S. stamps, and I cannot purchase Canadian stamps in America to send to you, and you can't purchase Canadian stamps to send to me. I mean, I can't use a Canadian stamp on my mail to mail back to you. It has to be a U.S. stamp, and I can't buy the Canadian. So if I was going to send you a self-addressed stamped envelope, I wouldn't be able to do it because I can't buy a Canadian stamp over here. Unless I order it online, perhaps. I might be able to order them online. And I said, well, what if I wanted to buy a book of stamps, say a book of stamps, and give them to a pen pal? And she says, well, they wouldn't be able to use the stamps because they're from the wrong country. Well, you would just think with the girl that I was talking to, it was 4:30, okay, and I know they close at 5. There was a big old line. Everybody was waiting in line, and I'd already been up there once, and another lady told me I had to fill the form out, and I didn't know. So I go out of line, fill my form out, and then she says, go ahead and come to the front of the line since you've already been here. So I had to jump in front of all those people again and go to this next girl. But anyway, I think I've got it taken care of. You do not have to send me a self-stamped addressed envelope because your napkins are already on your way to you. You're from my end. I've already taken care of your napkins. So you don't have to worry about a return envelope. So that was my big fun day at the post office. But it was another post office. And then I have one a little one in the town that I live in. And they are so much nicer than this other big post office. So they must have a mean boss. You can buy international stamps, but USA American international stamps are only good for USA mail. And I can send her one of my stamps, but the Canadian stamps won't honor a US stamp. So when I mail a letter out of the United States into Canada or Europe, I put an international stamp on it, and I'll show you what they kind of look like. I buy the round ones so that I don't get them mixed up. And these were leftovers from the holidays, but they're Global USA Forever 2018 stamps. So I buy the Forever without an amount on it, and these run. I'm thinking they were $1.15, but it might be different now because I think they changed the rates in April. So yeah, Barb, I got you covered. I got you a box coming. And then she wanted me to tell her what was inside. And I said, well, crafts. And she says, well, that's not an answer. You have to write down each item in here. And I said, napkins. And she says, that's plural. That's with an S. You have to write in how many napkins are in there. And I said, okay, 10. I kept answering her, but she knew I was lying because it was too heavy to be just napkins because it weighed a pound. So today I filled out a new form and I put one book, and I put a value on it as $20 because yesterday I said, oh, it was no value, no value. It was all, craft items, no value. But I think it's insured up to $100. It was crazy. Okay, let's see. Okay, the international stamps have to be purchased in whatever country you're in. These are United States, and this was a December poinsettia, so they have other ones. They have other pictures, but I like to buy the round ones so I don't get them mixed up with my regular stamps. And if you get the Forever in the United States, then they're good regardless of the price change. So if you're mailing from and out of the country, you have to buy your international stamp in that country. This is not good in Canada to mail to me. If someone's mailing something from Canada, they have to use a Canada stamp. If someone's from England, they have to mail me an England stamp. And if you're in U.S. mailing to international, I have to use a U.S. international stamp. So yeah, that's what that's all about.
Okay.
So and then if you are mailing in the U.S., I use a scale, and I know that one stamp, which is like this is a stamp, a U.S. stamp, and then this is a U.S. stamp, and they come in different uh, designs, print pictures, different pictures. And this is a U.S. stamp, and I buy on I don't know that you can buy a stamp with a cent, an amount on it anymore in the U.S. because they don't want to fool with the nickel and dimes. They just want the one stamp. And these forever stamps are worth, if the price goes up in a stamp, these forevers are covered in the U.S. So, and if you have a scale like this, I bought this scale at Harbor Freight, and you can measure ounces on it. And I take my envelope, whatever my envelope is, and you can do it in grams or ounces or whatever you're measuring. But I do ounces, and I just lay my envelope straight up on my scale, and it tells me how many ounces it is. And this is says 1.07. So this is one stamp, because it's over a pound. It's 7 ounces or 7 grams over the ounce. I would have to put 2 stamps on this envelope because it's over. If I take something out of it and it goes under a pound, like that, that's under a pound. It's 0.62. One stamp would mail this one. So whenever I mail my envelopes, I weigh everything to like 90 grams, so that it doesn't go over one stamp, or I put 2 stamps on it. So if I don't have an ounce in it yet, I put more goodies in it. In other words, that's the way I do my letters. Oh, I know. They can get really picky, Sherry, and it's just the person, and it's how they are drilled by their bosses, and it makes them irritable. I know. Well, because there was some heavier items in there, Barb, and it wasn't just napkins. So I said, well, maybe I'll just say it's a book, because it's a book size of a book, and it looked like a book, felt like a book, so it must be a book. So maybe that's more believable than the crafts. So yeah, that's what I did. So and I know that there is a problem with how fat your envelope is. But it only has to be like a quarter of an inch, and if it goes through a quarter of an inch, and I used to have a little slot that I made out of cardboard, and I made it a quarter of an inch, and I would test my envelopes if they would go through, but you can tell, and I have had much better luck weighing myself than trusting them at the post office. And she told me yesterday that my package was a pound, and when I measured it just now, it it wasn't a pound. It was under a pound, with my brown paper over top of it and more tape. So I'm not quite sure if she was telling the truth, or maybe she was just rounding up and giving me a ballpark. I'm not sure. But then again, maybe their scales are heavy at the post office, and that's a possibility too. So anyway, that was my big post office run yesterday. But I did get my ACTs mailed off. And I've got a couple of girls that are doing the napkin swaps, and they're going to get their ACTs in return with their napkins. I've got 4 girls that are in my napkin swap. So if I've promised you an ACT, it'll come with your napkin. I think she must have had yeah, I think she had a little lead, pieces of lead on there, a magnet or something. Yeah. Yeah, she must have did something. But she was irritable with me, and I wasn't trying to be mean. Hi, Giovanna. And I was just asking honest questions, and I said, "Well, I have a question to ask." And I said, and it was about the international stamps. And I said, "I have an international stamp from the US." And I said, "If I were to give that, put one in my pen pal letter, can they use it in Canada to mail me a letter back?" And she says, "No, it has to be a Canadian stamp." And I said, "Well, can I purchase a Canadian stamp from you?" And she goes, "No, no." She was, "Oh no, not Canadian." I thought, "Oh, okay." I was just asking a question. Okay, Terry, you can watch. So anyway, what I was doing this morning, as I got my mail, Joe took my box, and he's going to my post office. He's going to the little post office, and they're much nicer. So I thought I would tell you what else I'm doing. We went to Home Depot, and I got me some more paint chips, and I think these are the size for ACTs, but I think these are only can get one. Yeah, these are 3 1/4, so I can only get one ACT out of this particular size, which is fine. But this size is 4 inches by 5 1/2, so I can get one ACT out of this one. Then it'll be about this much. What size is this? 2 1/2 by 3 1/2. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can get 2 ACTs off of this particular paint swap or chip. So that'll work. So these are really nice. They're wide, they're longer and wider. And these are too. Let's see what this one says. This one is 3 1/4 by 6. So I think I can get 2 ACTs out of this one too. Maybe. We'll see. I'll have to remeasure. These cards aren't exact because I cut the corners on them, and they're not. Oh, I can use a playing card. This is an exact. This is an exact ACT card. So they're a little short, but I think I could get at least one on here anyway. I don't think I can get 2 on there, just one. But that's okay. I can cut them down. So I got me some new paint chips yesterday, and I'll put them up here to play with later. And then I found these guys, but I don't know what to do with them. But they might make nice tags. I got a little tag as a gift not too long ago on my keychain. It was from Sharon. She comes in here sometimes, but this might be a cute tag to make and glue like a little cluster on, and then you could put a little clip on it, and you could put it on like a keychain tab because it's hard. So we might make some of these up one day. I like those. Yes, Cheryl, you asked for an international stamp, but I was asking for Barb. If I mail her one of my international stamps, it's a U.S. stamp, and if I give that to her in a mail, she can't use it in Canada to mail back to me with it. If I was going to give a stamp away, she has to buy a Canadian stamp. But now if you're in wherever you are, you buy their stamp to mail to that other country. Paint chips. Oh, they were throwing a whole batch out. Okay. Ro, cool. Use them for ACT cards. Yeah. And these were free. I only took a few. I didn't take a lot. I didn't take all of them. I wasn't greedy. I think if if you were to take, a reasonable amount, I don't think they mind, because they have to send these from the company, and it costs the company money. So I don't think they mind taking the chips. And I told the girl up at front when I left Home Depot, I bought some flower seeds, and she says, "Oh, you can have all those you want. We don't care." A deck of cards for 50 cents. Okay. I do that too. I buy old cards, and I've got a variety of uh, colors and designs. They're like different decks of cards, and I use them for ACTs. But I like the backs of them because they're different. This is my blue stack. I got a red stack too. And then sometimes I find the smaller cards, which is like the bridge playing cards that you play bridge with. They're a little more narrow, and uh, I use those just to put in as Happy Mail. Cheryl's challenged in her typing today. Okay. Your Goodwill has nothing under $2. Really? Ours is we have a Habitat. It's called Habitat, and it's where they help build low income houses. The Habitat building place. So it's run by volunteers, and I think they're a little high too. And whenever I see like craft paint in there and they've got $1 on it, I said, "Well, you've got to be crazy. I can go to Walmart and buy a new bottle for 50 cents. I'm not going to buy a used bottle for $1." These cards here are bicycle cards. It's a bicycle brand, and they just have this design on the back. I don't know if I have a joker to show you the name of them, but I've got them in red and blue. But this is a bicycle brand, which is a brand of cards. And there's not a full deck there for playing deck, so they're in here in my crafts. So I also use kid cards, and I got some. I've used these in Happy Mail, and I use the jumbo cards. Have you ever seen the jumbo cards? I've got a lot of cards. I'll show you some of my cards. This card here is what I was talking about. Is a narrow card. It's more narrow, thinner, and it's a bridge. It's a bridge game, cards where people play cards, and you can see how much smaller it is. It's not 2.5. It's 3.5, but it's not 2.5. It's only 2.25. So it's not really big enough for an ACT, but it's cute to put in Happy Mail to use in an art journal. Well, sure, Ro, that was a good deal to get those. Now we can use them in your art. Oh, did Mary get a big jumbo card? Uh, I'm not sure if I saw that or not. Did she get a big one? I've seen them as big as a piece of paper. I I bought a deck of the big cards. It was almost as big as a piece of typing paper, and I sent them to my niece and my nephew up at home. When they were down here visiting last summer, we got into playing cards, and he was showing me magic tricks and different things, and we were playing. Uh, I think we were playing spicy Uno or something Uno, and I had a card shuffler. Well, my nephew was just at that age where he thought the card shuffle was like the biggest thing since sliced bread. He just thought it was the sun and the moon. So I had to give it to him. So I gave him the card shuffler. And so for Christmas, I bought him the big giant game of cards. And it was perfect for their age. But I also go to a restaurant close by, and they have a place at the door where you can drop in your business cards. And so I take one of each of the business cards and I bring them home and I use them to make art cards out of. And and here are some of my business cards that I've made. And they were just painty papers basically, and they're fun to make to put in your Happy Mail. And they're smaller than an ACT, but it's not an ACT swap if it's in a Happy Mail. We had a Goodwill in my little town, and they closed out. So yeah, you could do journaling by fives on the cards, sure. So, but anyway, I think I took these cards and I taped them together on the back side, and then and made a big sheet out of them, and did a pick 10 or a dirty dozen on them. These I just painted, and I'm sure I taped them together, but that's what I do with my business cards, and they're free because they were at the restaurant, and people were putting their business cards there for businesses purposes. But hey, they were free, so I used them. Oh, okay, half of an index card. Yeah, is that two ACT sizes? Are they exact? Ro, do you know? I could probably find an ACT card and measure it. I don't have any at my fingertips, but yeah, if if it's 2.5 by 3.5, you can make an ACT out of it, and or just do the whole card and make an art card and put it in Happy Mail. That would work. 2 by 2, okay. But it's just the same principle as my business card size. As long as it's not an ATC swap, which has to be 2.5 by 3.5, you can do this. And the way we do ACTs with our Dirty Dozen and our Pick Tens, I would accept it, and it would fit in the baseball card holder where I store my cards, my trading cards. As long as it goes in one of these in here, I wouldn't care. Uh, but that's what I do with my ACT cards. But anyway, that's just a few of my cards that I do, and I'll put these back up there. But I want to go get my key ring. Let me get my keys. I just wanted to show you my key ring. This is what I want to do with the paint chips. With these paint chips. These are tile for like countertop tiles, tile chips. But I got this little tag, this size of a tag, as a some Happy Mail, and it's got a little clip on it like that, and you can get these really inexpensive clips at Walmart, and I've got a bag of them over there. And on the front of it is a little cluster. There's two little brads uh, on the clusters, little hearts. You could put a flat back bead, or maybe a button, glue a button on it, something small. And it's got a metal eyelet that was done with a punch, one of your crocodile punches. And I have that machine, and it's got a charm on it, a wing. Can you see it? And it says cherish today with a heart. It's got a little bit of lace, a little bit of fabric, and a little bit of paper. It's a cluster. And this was from my friend Sharon, and she comes into these art classes, art rooms. She was in Mary's room last night, and Sharon lives in Oregon, and she's very. I've got another card that she made. She's very good. But anyway, we've traded ACT cards, and she made me this thank you card from a prompt game. And it's etched in black, the card is, then it's taped on a blue piece of paper, and then again on the white paper, and a note inside. And it's just a typical Pick 10 or Dirty Dozen page, the way when we play. And I'm pretty sure it's pretty. And then she put a little bit of glue, decorative glue around the edge. I can feel it. But and she embossed the thanks on it. She did real pretty, and she sent me this little key ring with it, and I love it. So I keep it on my key ring. So I keep her with me, and I put her name on the back because I didn't want to forget. But I'd like to do this with these because they're hard, and it would be something that you could withstand a lot of abuse, like with your keys. It wouldn't break or anything or tear up. But I think her key ring is good because it's got an eyelet on it. Yes, the brads are even hearts, and I've got some tiny brads like that. Now they don't go through the whole thing on the back, so there's no snag. They go through the on top, and I guess they're glued down. Maybe they're flatbacks. They look like they might be flatbacks because I don't see any metal on the back as I peek. So they're just little flatback decorative uh, items, sequence things, but they're metal. But anyway, I thought this and this would be a good project. So I'm going to save these for that. Put these away. I've got a little home for everything. Put my little kitty cards up. And I'm going to get a rubber band for this. So Twinchies are 2x2s, 2" by 2" are Twinchies. Inchies are 1x1 little art cards. Inchies and Twinchies, and then they have Artist Trading Coins, which is a 2" circle, and then they've got the in-betweensies or something. There's another one, in-betweens. But I haven't made any of the in-betweens. But I have done inchies and twinchies. But I've never really traded inchies and twinchies. I stick them in mail, but I don't. I'd rather make an ACT card. Let me see. I have some inchies and twinchies I can show you. This is a book that I got at the secondhand store, and it's a photo book. And this is the same type of photo book I have, similar to. It's not the exact same. It's another one like this. It has the construction cardstock paper to glue your to put your pictures on, and then it has this vellum in between the pages, so that the pictures don't stick together. But this is the exact same kind of book I used in my napkin journal that I showed you all. And I glued a napkin here, and then I glued a napkin on the vellum on that side, this side, and this side. So I got 4 napkins on these 2 pages. And that's why I had so many in my napkin collection. But this is a photo book, and I'm just repurposing it. And I've got a few art pages in, that I use in it, that I made. Oh, look, I found some pink flamingo napkins. I think they should go in the trade. I was going to do something with them. And but anyway, here's a page, and I took a sheet protector and cut it in clear strips, and then I taped it down so that I could display my inchies. So they're just sticking down in a little clear slot here. Because how do you store these guys? But here's an inchie. I'm trying to get it focused. There it is. So this is one of my inchies. It's 1" by 1". And you have to be real careful when you cut these guys out. And if you have you can buy punches, 1" by 1" punches, and you can get 2" by 2" punches, squares and rounds. But I cut these by hand. I don't have a punch for it. So I went and I looked for tiny, tiny pictures just to put on these little inchies. And I used painty papers that I made on the back side before I cut them, and then I inked the edges, and I guess I used glue or Mod Podge on top, and it's basically just cardstock paper. It's not plain paper. It's stiff. But I've seen them where the girls make them really chunky and thick with glue or resin or something. But these are some of my inchies, and I do not know where I got these pictures at. I don't remember. But they look like they might have come out of their animated pictures, like a children's book or something. but I don't remember where I got them from because they're not real pictures. So they're not from a magazine. So I do not know where I got all these little pictures. And this one could have been a sticker from a address label. Okay, Cheryl, see you after lunch, maybe. But then some of these inchies I did with stamps, my smaller stamps, and I did these in paper. They're too thin. They're too thin. So I just stuck them in here. I didn't give these away, but I just used different stamps that I had that were small ink stamps on the whole piece of paper, and then I cut it up into 1-inch squares, and you can see this one's crooked as can be. It's not exact. So I was not very good at being exact. This is not exactly 1 inch wide. See, I was short on that side, but this side is 1 inch, and it's okay. But I'm just not real good at being exact like that on little things. And then I had this little stamp that says "You rock" on the back of my inchy. But these are just some of the ones I made, and these aren't even have pictures on. These are just, maybe I need to put a picture on them. They're not finished. But I've just kind of quit doing inchies. I don't do them very often. So that's some of those. And then over here on this side are my twinchies, which are 2 inchers, and they're not really finished, but I used some of my painty paper again, and I picked out. I think this came out of an Oriental Trading magazine with all the kid toys and things. And there's Nemo there. And I used stamps and little pictures. And there's a picture of a dog out of a magazine. And so there's a parrot. But they're not they're on cardstock, but they're still kind of flimsy. It's like they need more glue or something. I just never did do very good with these. But that's some of my inchies and twinchies. Okay, Ro, it's time to get up. And here's another piece of my art in this book. And that's a painting I did. And if you ever want to do watercolor one day, I can put it on my to-do. I do have it on my to-do list to do this kind of a scene with you guys, because I can show you how I paint that. And apparently I was going to put this napkin on the other side. Haven't done it yet. And yeah, it's just another art book I have that I work on. So that's what I was doing with that. And the other thing I was going to show you today, I went to Home Depot, and I went down the paint aisle, and I found these brochures for different companies. And these brochures are free. So I took one of each. This is for concrete, and this is for finishes. This is wood, concrete and wood, and this is for decorative concrete finishes, and this is for collar collection of Olympics. But I bought them because they're brochures and they open up, and it's kind of like a little folder. It's a little art journal. So what I want to do is decorate each page in some kind of a background. And this does have texture because it's got these little square chips, paints. It does have texture, but that doesn't bother me a bit. I can paint over top of that. And the cardboard, is like cardstock. So I can show you how to decorate one of these guys, and then if everybody goes to Home Depot, if anybody goes to Home Depot and get you one of these, we can do them together. Yeah, I could put it in my uh some of my you talking about some of my art cards, put them in my journaling box to art with them. I could do that, Barb. Yeah. So, but this is going to be on my to-do list, and all of them fold out a little different. So this one folds out, keeps folding out the same direction. Oh no, it just folds out too. But this one, it folds out. It has a page, and then it folds out to double. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pages in this booklet. So that's 12 journal pages. So I thought that would be fun. And this is something that if you don't have a very large crafting area, this would be perfect. Oh yeah, you're right, Barb. I could put my odd ones in my yes, you're correct. That's exactly what I should do with them. I'll have to go and measure them all now. No, you're right. That would be great. Hi, Mary. Look what I have, Mary. Oh, you're going to like this, Mary. Watch, look at this. I went to Home Depot last night, and I went down the paint aisle and I got me I got some paint chips, some of these guys, and they're free. I just took one of a few of them. I just took a few of them, and they don't mind if you take just a few. I didn't take all of them, just a few, to use them for something, tags or something. And then I went down the paint aisle and I found these brochures. Uh, there's three of them and they're all different. This one opens up. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-page brochure. And I thought it would be neat to do all of them in backgrounds, and then we would have a little booklet to do an art journal in. And this would be perfect for anybody that has a small space, that doesn't have room for a big book or something. And this one folds out just to be 8 pages. But this is an Olympic one, and it folds out to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a halfie. It's got a little halfie one, a little flip out. So it's different. I really like this 12 one the best. So it's on my to-do list to do the pages. Okay, Barb, get you some coffee. Hi, Joyce. So so that was what I did at Home Depot yesterday. I got samples. I bought some flower seeds. And Joe bought me some big plants to put outside for some flower beds, tropical plants. So yeah, that's what I did there. So I think I'm going to start with this one today. And do a little gessoing. I could also do scrapbooking on it and collage it. Let me get my wallpaper book out. Find some paper in here. Let's see what we can find in here. Do they have any green? Oh, they do have green. This is what I want right here. Free paper. Well, good, Mary. I hope I had a good time last night. So here we go. See what we can get done today. I'm going to collage the front of this booklet. Let's see here. I think I'll get me some wax paper. Just happen to have some wax paper here. Okay, Mary's gonna go get some coffee. Okay, Mary's gonna work on her do-si-do book. And I'm going to work on this new brochure book, paint book that I got at Home Depot last night. It's got 12 pages. I don't know if I'm going to get all 12 done today, but I can work on one. So I'm going to, since I'm going to be using glue, I'm going to put a little bit of wax paper on the inside of it in case I get messy, which is a possibility. And I'm going to put this out of the way. I found a rubber band. Have you ever seen a rubber band? This is. I'm going to be using Elmer's glue. And I bought, for the very first time, I bought a gallon of Elmer's glue. And because it's cheaper to buy it by the gallon. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I got it off of Walmart.com. And they mailed it directly to the house. And then my order was over $35 or $50, and so I got free shipping. So why not? So that's how I got my glue. And it's just regular school glue. And sometimes it gets a little thick. I pour it in my jelly jar, keep a lid on it, but sometimes it gets a little thick. And if it does, I just add a tiny bit of water to it and liquefy it. And I don't know if it's the best glue for decoupaging yet. I don't know yet. But it pours real nicely in my jelly jar. Just like that. Put the lid back on it, and down to the floor she goes. Yeah, it's just Elmer's. It's school. This is the school glue. They do have a glue all, and I think it's thicker, like maybe closer to tacky. Tacky glue is thick, and I'm not sure the recipe of the Eileen's tacky, but I keep it on my desk too for heavier items. And I also use a clear glue sometimes, which is the Elmer's clear glue, and I do like it. I bought some off-brand clear glue, and I don't see it at my fingertips, but I buy the cheapest I can get. Hi, Kendra. So that's what I do, and then when I'm doing a collage, I like to use a glue brush, and this is one of my glue brushes, and when I'm doing a whole page like this, I can just stick my glue brush in my jar, and I don't care, because it's an older glue brush that I use just for glue. I paint with it too, but or I'll use it with gesso or something. No big deal. So I'll use it like this, and then at the end of the day or the afternoon, I will put it in water and rinse. I got a watering system over here. I'll show it to you. I used to use another jar for water, but I found this little caddy I got it for Christmas. I bought it for myself for Christmas, and it had 3 little milk jugs in it full of hot cocoa powder. And I thought, oh, and they were shaped like little milk jars. And I said, this will be perfect for my desk, my art desk, So I'm always afraid of spilling my water. And so I bought the cocoa just for the caddy. And then when I had the jars, well, they were tight at the neck, and it wasn't practical for a paintbrush, after you use the product, after you use the food out of it. So I took the jars out, and I discovered that a water bottle fit in each one of these squares, and I just cut the top of the water bottle off, and I've got 3 little cups in here, and I just take it to the sink, and I rinse them out and put more water in it and put it back in my caddy. And I sit this on my desk, and I don't have to worry about accidentally spilling water. And you can even use find a box or something if you. I think something this size, it reminds me of Velveeta cheese, and they come in a real heavy box, and you could probably sit. You'd have to find you another find you a caddy to put on your desk so you don't spill it. And I do put a little bit of soap in my first one. I've got a little bit of dish soap in here, so it washes my brush out in soapy water. And then I have rinse and rinse. So after I get a dirty brush, I put my dirty one here, rinse it first, and then I can go to the other 2, and I keep moving down as they get dirty. And that's how I rotate my water. So this one is always the dirtiest to the cleanest. And that's my little watering system, how I do my watercolor. So, good question. I went off on a rabbit trail, though. I hope you don't mind. I went off on a rabbit trail, Giovanna. So anyway, I'm just going to put some glue down on this brochure. So does anybody have a hardware store close by that you can go in and browse around for the pamphlets? So, anybody working on anything today? Anything special? Coffee? Good answer, Barb. Good answer. Working on her coffee. Nothing wrong with that. But anyway, I wanted to do some arting today. There was a couple of videos that I like to do art pages, and I've been so busy doing other things, I've neglected my art pages. And but this will be a cute art journal. And I can do it with you guys and do a page. Ooh, Kendra, my favorite breakfast. Totally my favorite breakfast. Cold pizza. I can do it. Yeah. It's not on my diet anymore though. I had to give it up. Uh, I don't do bread anymore. But I am at a point on my diet where I can have a free day. So I might be able to have pizza again one of these days. As a treat. Oh, your doctor's taking you off of your food, some of your foods. Is it a particular diet, Kendra? Allergies or something? I'm putting Winnie the Pooh on the front. Oh, okay. It's your sugar. Are you a diabetic? I'm full of questions. Oh, Barb. Well, I tell you guys, I'm not trying to. Okay. Well, if you don't be careful, you'll turn into a diabetic if your sugar's off the chart. But I'm not a diabetic, but I was overweight and I couldn't lose weight. I've been on diet after diets after diets, and I went on this keto diet, and it's not as bad as what you may think it is, because I eat meat, vegetables, and fruit, and and I drink a lot of coffee. Okay, so I don't eat a lot of carbs. I don't eat any bread. I don't eat grains, and I don't eat sugar. My I had my blood work done yesterday, the day before yesterday, and I can't wait to go back to my doctor next week. So I will find out the results of my blood work on Tuesday, and I'm very interested in my blood sugar. because the last time I did my blood sugar, it was like 100, which is border on the border, but it was supposedly fasting. But I probably had pizza the night before or something like that. So I'm anxious to see my blood work next Tuesday, and I'm also anxious to see my cholesterol. And see, I've lost weight since the last time I had my blood work. So I'm very curious. I can't wait to see it. I hope it's all good. Surely it is. As as good as the diet that I'm on. But I eat for snacks. I'll have like pepperoni and strawberries or something like that. It satisfies me. And since I've been on this diet, I have had no zero heartburn. Zero. So I don't know what exactly. Hi, Deborah. Hi, sweetie. So I don't know the extent of uh, what the bread has to do with anything. And I'm thinking that it has everything to do with it. The flour. And I don't know for sure, but I just keep staying on this diet, and I can eat all the salads I want, all the vegetables I want, and I can eat cheese, and I just don't eat processed food like lunch meat processed or hot dog processed. Um, I could have everything on the pizza except for the crust, and I fix spaghetti. I can eat spaghetti, but not the noodles. So I can have the sauce, and I put it on my. Hi, Deborah. Glad you're here. Glad to see you. And so I I put my spaghetti sauce on my salad, and I don't eat canned fruit and canned vegetables. The canned fruit has the high fructose corn syrup in it, so I do not eat sugar at all. None of that kind of sugar. I eat fresh berries. And um, after I reach my goal weight on my diet, I'll be able to have like apples and oranges and other fruit, bananas and things like that. But right now, those particular fruits are too high in the sugar part as long as I'm trying to lose the weight. So I know, Barb, being a rabbit, eat a lot of salads. And when I first started this diet, it took forever for me to start losing weight. But now that I've been on it for a long time, it's working. I'm working in my first brochure from the Home Depot, and I'm collaging the front page with Winnie the Pooh wallpaper. That's what I'm doing. So, but I just know that it's working for me, and I've worked very hard to be where I am on it, and I'm very happy, very happy with it. So that's all I can say. But I know it's hard to diet. I know how hard it is. I know all the complications I've had and so forth, and it's been weight. I lose weight and then I gain it back. I lose the weight and I gain it back. And right now, I have just pretty much decided that this is a permanent lifestyle on this diet, and I'm happy with it. I do have some of the ketosis strips, and I used to do them. I still have some. They're in the bathroom, and they're just urine strips, and they tell you if you're in ketosis or not. And I can't tell that I'm in it or not, but I do know that when I start to lose weight, I feel better. And and all of the my weight loss has been extremely slow. My weight losses have been, and I started this keto diet in May of last year. And in the summer, I wasn't losing weight, and I got depressed, and so I went off the diet for a couple weeks, and then I started it back up, and I really started it again and started writing down um, everything I ate in October. But since May of last year, I've lost 35 pounds. And it's like it's like 5 pounds a month is all I'm losing. It's like less than a pound a week. So it's coming off real slow, and I'm losing fat, not muscle. It's keto. And I'm not as strict as some of the people on the TV that does it. And I don't take any supplements, keto diet pills or anything like that. This is all just through natural eating. But I eat meat, fresh vegetables, and fresh fruit. And I'm sticking with the berries right now because they're the lowest in the carbs. But if I get hungry, I can have a little bowl of salami, pepperoni, or any kind of other chicken or beef or ham. I can have any kind of meat I want as long as it's good, good meat. It is. It is, Deborah. When you lose slow, you're not going to gain it back. And sometimes they say to go off it for a few days and go back on it, and you'll kick your ketosis back in. But supposedly, from the videos that I watched Dr. Berg, Dr. Berry, and Dr. Axe, and they all three talk about ketosis diets and what's good for you and so forth. Absolutely. I don't eat sugar. I don't drink pop anymore. And I was a Cokeaholic. I mean, I had to have my Coke every day. And oh, you did, Teresa? Okay. Yeah, I can eat vegetables too if I want to. And I love steamed vegetables. I can eat steamed vegetables every day, and I do pretty much eat steamed vegetables every day. So it's not just the salads all the time, but I love a good salad out when we go out and get a nice house salad or a Cobb salad. And I don't put sugar in my coffee, but I do. This is God. This is one problem. I have to interrupt you all. This is one little problem that happens at your craft table. What's wrong with this picture? Can you guess what's wrong with this picture? Are you all believing this? This is what happens when you talk and not pay attention to where you put your paintbrush or your glue brush. This does not go in my coffee. Well, I'm done with this cup, okay? I'm done. Hey, we could do some coffee staining papers. Oh my gosh. I have done this once before, but my coffee was sitting back away from my caddy. And I've been putting my glue in my brush and my glue this morning, and I was just talking away. Oh my gosh. Oh, you put glue stick on your lips instead of chapsticks? That is so funny, Joyce. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my gosh. How funny is that? But anyway, I forgot what I was telling you about. I got frustrated. But I eat real food versus artificial food. I eat real fresh chicken instead of canned chicken. I don't go for the canned goods as much as I used to. I don't even like. Uh, I can't hardly eat canned tuna anymore. I used to eat tuna all the time, and I don't know if they've changed the way they packaged it or what. But yeah, that is so funny, guys. Oh my gosh. Now that's between you and me. What goes on in our craft channel stays in our craft channel, right? Mhm. I think that should be. I think that's a good saying. Just between friends. Oh, well, well, when you can get it fresh, I don't think I'm going. Okay, Deborah. Yeah, right. Now I don't know. Since I can get fresh chicken, there's no need to can it, you know. But I've never thought about canning my own chicken. I guess I could. How funny. And I have done that before. One time Joe set his coffee cup a little too far over on my side of the desk over here, and I accidentally put my paintbrush in his coffee too. I said, sorry. Oh dear. But anyway, I was talking about my keto diet and but when you stop eating the carbs, you stop craving the carbs. And when you stop eating the sugar, you stop craving the sugar. And the only thing I put in my coffee is creamer. And I'm allowed to have on my particular diet so many carbs a day. And I probably, they say beginners on the keto diet can have like 30 or 40 carbs a day. And I think I'm less than that for a beginners. And then as you get used to the diet and used to the lower calorie, then you can go with a little bit less carbs. And I think I'm down to about around the 20 range of per carbs a day. And so really the only kind of carbs I've been eating all morning is my coffee, is my creamer in my coffee, is my only carbs. So I do pretty good. And but normally I don't drink black coffee. I got to have some kind of sweetening in it, and my creamer is the either Coffee Mate or International French Vanilla, and it's got sugar in it. But it's low carb because you only use about what 2 tablespoons per cup or something like that, and but the creamer is my worst carbs of everything that I eat. For per day, 30 to 60 carbs a day, Mary. Uh-huh. Yes. I was talking to, oh, it was Becky. She sees a dietitian because her and Scott are, I think, diabetics, and she said that she's on like 40 carbs per meal a day, and and uh, and she's been losing weight too. I think she's lost a little bit of weight, but uh, but on the keto diet, they want you to go, less is better. on the carbs. So, and it's good carbs versus bad carbs, because your vegetables do have carbs and so does your fruit, but they're the good carbs. They're not potato chips. They're not the starches. I stay away from potatoes and corn. I do not use corn oil anymore. They say that's bad for you anyway. So I use coconut oil and olive oil and avocado oil. Um, and if I fry my chicken in oil, I fry it in chicken in the coconut oil, and it's good. You don't. It doesn't taste like coconut. It's just clear. It's a clear, clean oil. And if you haven't tried coconut oil to fry your chicken in, you ought to. And and when I fry my chicken, I don't put any bread on it, because I'm not eating wheat, and the wheat not eating wheat has cleared up my gut. But they're the good fats, Teresa, and those are the fats that we want in our diet. We want the fat in the meat because it's the natural fat around the meat. We want that fat versus a a vegetable fat from corn, because the corn has been modified. Right. You got it, girl. So you have good fats and bad fats. The same way with your cholesterol, you have the good cholesterol and the bad cholesterol. It's the same thing with fats. And so I am on a high fat but natural fats, good fats. And the creamer, I can have all the creamer, heavy creamer. I can drink straight creamer in my coffee if I want, because it's different. Yes, I do take the fat off of my chicken and my beef. I used to. I used to, but I don't anymore. I used to cut all the fat off, but the chicken fat and the beef fat, the little bit there, those are the good fats, and so now I leave them in, and I use that as flavoring. I also use bone broth. You can get chicken bone broth and beef bone broth in the grocery stores, and instead of adding water to your steamed vegetables, add a half a cup of that, and that's good. And there's no carbs in that, and it adds flavor to your food. Yes, I do. I cook my meat first and in my skillet, and I usually add a teaspoon of coconut oil, and I cook my chicken or my beef real hard. I usually cube it, and I fry them real good on both sides, get them good and brown, and then I turn the heat down, add a half a cup of bone broth, and then I throw in all my vegetables on top, and I put the lid on it, and then I drink the juice when we're done. I do, cause it's not gravy, but it's juice. it's it's soup juice. Yes, I sear it. I love cooking that way. That's my favorite dish, and I can eat that way 5 days, 7 days a week. And so anyway, you learn by watching the videos of Dr. Berry, Dr. Berg, and Dr. Axe. I watch all their videos a lot in the beginning, and they have a lot of tips, and they have a lot of uh, there's a lot of questions people want answers to, and you can get a lot of information from those videos. And I, I do take some vitamin supplements like magnesium, and it helped clear up my gut as well as being off of the wheat. I think I don't know if I was high glucose gluten. I don't know if I had a gluten problem, but they say wheat has high gluten, and that's also one of the problems with our gut. And I think I've detoxed. And in the beginning, when I started losing weight real slow, it wasn't fast enough for me, and I was being impatient, but my body was healing. And I think my body is still healing at times. I do take vitamins. Uh, I take vitamin D. I take a B complex, which has a lot of B's in it. The complex one does. And I take a vitamin C, and I take a cranberry pill every day, and I swear by it. I swear by it. It's good for your bladder, and I don't have any more UTIs. I swear by the cranberry. It works. And I'm trying to think if I take, that's about all the vitamins I take. And uh, I do take a blood pressure, and I take a water pill, uh, because when I was heavier, my ankles would swell up a lot, and my doctor put me on a water pill, and I don't know why my ankles were swelling, so I might be able to get off of that pill uh, one day. And I take a potassium. So I got good potassium and magnesium, and my restless eggs leg syndrome at night is much nicer. I don't kick as much. But I really think that I had, an internal gut issue, and I think I've cleansed myself by eating these good foods. But I don't eat any junk food. I don't eat any cupcakes or Twinkies or cookies, and I don't eat any now. Now I do splurge. I've been starting to splurge on crackers. I love crackers. I love club crackers, wheat thins, Triscuits, and the other day we went out to a Mexican restaurant, and I had the big tortilla shell salad, but I didn't have any beans, and I didn't have any onions. So it was really just the salad and the cheese with the and tomatoes and the shell, and I ate my shell. But I haven't gained any weight or anything. So, but that was my treat out eating out that one time. Oh no, Barb, did you get a commercial? I've been having getting commercials every now and then. And I think instead of filtering, I think YouTube's trying to insert commercials in all of our screens. But anyway, if you have any questions, I'll be glad to help you with that, and or you can Google it yourself. But I'm on the low carb thing. But I used to keep track of it, and I don't keep track of it anymore. Yep, you deserve a treat every now and then, and they say it's good for you because it helps you go back into ketosis the next day. But yeah, so there's the front of my journal. I need another Piglet in here. Gotta have Piglet. It just would be terrible if I didn't have a little Piglet in here. There he is. And this was just a sheet of wallpaper out of the book. So, let's see now. I'll put in some honey pots right there. Oh, you take a women's vitamin? That's good. I've been taking vitamin D for a long time, and they say that's that we don't get enough vitamin D. And since I'm not drinking milk, um, the doctor wanted me to be on a calcium, for women to have, so that we won't have a calcium deficiency. But I don't know what my calcium is. I'm going to find out Tuesday. I need to write some of these questions down. Yeah, I think it's going to be cute. I'm going to trim the pages now. I'm going to leave the spine so I'm going to overlap the spine, but I got to let this dry first. But I can cut I'll dry it for a minute. Calcium hurts your stomach. That's unusual, because I thought that's what Tums were made out of. But I don't eat Tums anymore, because I don't have heartburn anymore. Oh, you can get too much vitamin D. I will. I just take one a day, and I've been told uh, that my vitamin D was good with what I'm taking. But I'm going to find out all my levels on all my blood work next Tuesday, so I'll let y'all know. But they say vitamin D is good uh, for our breasts, to prevent breast cancer. It helps. It helps. That's what I read. Of course, I do get sun down here. I get quite a bit of sun. Yeah. Oh, okay. The osteoporosis. Yeah. My doctor wanted me to take calciums, and I I was drinking milk at the time, but I don't drink as much milk anymore. So I'll have to ask her Tuesday how my calcium levels are, and I'll ask her about my vitamin D too. I guess I need to make a list. Doctor questions. I'll make a list for doctor questions. How's my vitamin D and uh, or calcium levels? Well, Cheryl, I think I'm trying to remember if I've had one. I don't know that I've had a bone density, and I probably should. Yep, you're right. You're right. Oh, you were taking vitamin D or calcium, Barb, and you was told not to take it. Well, what were you told not to take? But my doctor knows I'm taking every. I've been going to my doctor for a while, and she knows what I'm taking. And the office visit that I'm going to Tuesday is a well, it's a well checkup. I'm just going for a checkup. There's nothing wrong. And because I don't go to her if I'm not sick. But this time I'm going for my blood work. Oh, okay. You were getting too much vitamin D. Okay. That's good to know. Oh, I've got it on my thing to ask. And my iron. Okay. Yeah. As ever since I have had, well, I guess ever since I've gotten a little older, my iron has always been borderline. I'll add iron to my question list. So I'll ask her. Cheryl is working on making ACTs. Good girl, Cheryl. The sweet potato pizza crust. No, I have not. That sounds interesting. No, it's wallpaper. Gary, it's wallpaper. I'm just covering a little book. Are you interested in art? Any kind of crafts or anything? Because that's what we're doing in here. This is just a brochure, and I'm covering it to make it look nice. I'm more of a crafter, Gary. Do you like to do artwork? What do you like to do, Gary? What do you like to do? You draw? You're not very good at it, drawing? Well, practice. You got to practice. We just like to do crafts in here. And we make artist trading cards. I'm not a very good artist either, but I'm real good with glue, especially when I glue my coffee all every now and then. Don't I, girls? They'll vouch for me. So Practice, practice, practice. That's the way to do it. You just got to keep doing it over and over. Joyce wins the glue stick. She's a glue girl, huh? Are you a glue? You like the glue? So yeah. So anyway, I can do another project after this one. If you want me to do something else, I'll be glad to do something else. Unless you like watching me glue. So what's everybody going to do today? What's going on in your neck of the woods? Are you still talking about the sweet potato crust? Okay. Okay, Joyce. Get your cleaning done. Get your chores done. I'll see you in Tanya's room tomorrow. Okay. I'll have to check it out. And my sister is also on this diet. Of course, she doesn't need to lose weight, but she's on it. Well, she does a lot of the cooking. Oh, Deborah, you like to paint flowers in your music book? Great. Deborah, you need to, if you want, you can join my Facebook group, ask to join, and then you can post some of your pictures. I'd love to see your work if you're interested. It's Beth's Crafty Mixed Media Room is my Facebook page. That would be nice, Deborah, if you want to. If you want to, you don't have to. And just ask to join, and we'll accept you and in my group. And then you can post your pictures there, and you can see what we do too, what I do, and some of the other girls. I think I'm almost done with the back. I love doing glue papers. I love gluing and painting papers too. I don't know why, but it's just, I guess you don't have to think too much. I'm not sure. So I guess I'm gonna have to go get me another cup of coffee. There's the front. There's the back. Got to trim it up. Oh, Mary's working on a tube book. I did a mini one. I guess I can work on it next. Um, I glued pictures in. I did a mini one, a half size one, this size, and I did movie stars on them on my tabs, and their heads are sticking up. I like it, and they're movie stars from a free movie magazine I got. So I can finish this working on that too. Somebody wanted a demo on how I kind of put my stitch together. So I did a short tube. All right. Yeah, it's a mini tube. A baby. A baby tube. You want me to work on this one next? I was going to decorate these were leftovers from my paper towels. I was able to get a regular size, and then this was leftover, so I did a little mini one. And I love their heads. You can tell who. Can you tell who this guy is? Who's he look like? You're gonna love it. Are you ready? You're gonna love it. Here he is. He was so handsome when he was younger. That's Ernest. Deborah, get your tube out. Get your Tubi book out. And these pictures came out of a free catalog, a free movie catalog that you can order online for free. And I cut out the pictures and things. Okay, get your tubes out, everybody. We'll work on our tubes. I don't know who these guys are. And then this is Gigi, old timey movie. And this is a movie called Elizabeth, and she's Victorian style. Yeah, get your tubes out and we'll work on them. I'm going to go get me a cup of coffee, okay? So I'll be right back. I got to get me some, I got to unglue my cup. Unglue it. Okay. Okay, Deborah. I can show you, I might be able to show you some things that I do in my junk journal. Give you some ideas. I'm going to go get a cup of coffee, though. I'll be right back. Good thing I had a pot full of coffee in there. It's already made up. I'll try not to stick my glue brush in it now. Yeah, it's a celebrity tube journal. I can do that. No, not yet, Joyce. The last I heard last night, her fur babies, her 3 cats were inside, and there was an outside cat that stayed outside. It was a feral cat. So I haven't heard from her today. I know, we don't know. I haven't heard anything. And I do know that she has a lot of raccoons in her area. So it could have easily have been a raccoon and not the cat. And maybe there was a food fight, or between the raccoons. So we'll find out here soon. But I do know that her pets were okay. Her personal pets were okay. Oh, that tastes so much better. That one's not going to stick to my ribs like the other cup. Let us see. What do you want to see? What do you want to see? Oh, Kendra, thank you. Her cat that was outside, Spot, was okay. She has a cat outside, and it was okay. Oh, good. I agree. I was hoping it was just the raccoons fighting over, because she puts a little bit of cat food on the porch, and they could have been fighting for the cat food, the raccoons. So, what do you want to see, Deborah? I'll show you. You tell me what you want to see. I'm going to look for my movie catalog, and I've got a music catalog too, records. Music and movies. These catalogs are free online. This is moviesunlimited.com, and this is collectorschoicemusic.com. And see, I could cut these guys out, the Beatles, or these aren't the Beatles, these are the Birds. Hippies, they're hippies is what they are. But I'll use them on my art, my things. Deborah, what do you want me to show you? I'll tell me again what you want me to, what do you want to see? You want to see how I do some of my junk journals? I had a real pretty one, but I think I gave it away because I can't find it. It was pretty. Um, you can also order invitations, free invitations. They'll send you some sample invitations if you fill out the forms. Uh, and I've gotten like wedding invitations or anniversary invitations, and they send it. They last time they sent it to me, it was in a little folder tucked in with a nice. It was like this size, and it was folded in, and it had all these invitations tucked in with all their information from the company, and it was. I made a little journal out of it. But yeah, you can get free invitations, samples. But I think he looks cool enough to put on my celebrity book. This is called fussy cutting. I know. I know. The glue's over here and my coffee's over there. I was just putting my brush, I put my brush in it, and I don't know what I was thinking. I guess that means I just need another cup. It wasn't the first time, and it won't be the last. I'm sure of it. So, anyway, this music catalog, I would be like, here's a little tiny picture of Reba McEntire. It would be perfect for an inchie. I'm sure she would just love to be on my little art book. So, and there might be some oldie pictures in here that I might remember. Like, I've never heard of this guy, but this is called the Mule Skinner Blues. But that would be cute on a journal page. I don't know who they are, but yes, Joyce. that would that would make it safer, wouldn't it? Put a sippy cup on it. I've seen other girls do the same thing. But this is the and see, here's a picture of David Bowie. I'm gonna cut out a few of them. And here's a Linda Ronstadt. But here's the photo. This is the movie book, and they have pictures of bigger pictures here that I cut out. Yeah, a travel mug would be good. I've got some travel mugs in there. So, but when I go through the movies, I don't like to put um, horror movies. Yeah, I like the old fashioned movies, westerns, the good ones, because I don't want anything that's negative. We want happy comedies. I watch the Hallmark Channel a lot. That's more my cup of tea. This one's a Western. I'll fussy cut her out because I don't have any pictures on the back of my tabs. And I can decorate the backs now. And every month or every so often when I get a new movie catalog, these movie star pictures will be different. They won't be the same ones. Which is a good thing. Okay. See, this is all horror movie creep shows. I don't watch those. But I like this old Turner classics. Oh, Cheryl, did you order one of these books? Which one? Look for some movie stars. Here's the guy from Hawaii Five-O. Jack Lord. Jack Lord is his name. I've been watching the new Magnum PI series. You know, the old one with Tom Selleck was the old one, and but there's a new one now, and I've been watching it, and it's been good. I like it. And he still portrays the living on the rich man's uh, home site. He lives on the rich man's home site, and he gets to live in the guest cottage. The new Magnum guy, I don't know his name, and then instead of Higgins, it's a woman, and she is like a personal secretary to the owner of the estate. And then there's a guy that flies a helicopter, and then there's the other guy that has the bar, the restaurant. Are the characters are still the same from the original Magnum PI, but they're younger guys, and I like it. I like the show. But I don't watch any. I don't like horror movies, and I don't like a lot of violence. And that shows a lot of the violence. And I'm just not into that kind of movies. And Joe, he loves the westerns, anything western. And we'll get on a kick and see a certain one. Like Laramie or Gunsmoke, and we'll watch like 10 of them in a row, a marathon. We like to do that. And then we watch for old actors in them, and then we Google them. So we're on our computers kind of the whole time when we watch these old movies. And it's fun. It's fun. And then we find out what other movies they've been in. Nothing wrong with having good, clean fun. And we don't do X-rated. And I don't do horror. But I get the Hallmark Channel, and I like Hallmark movies. So I think I'll have enough now. Start gluing some here. Got a few here picked out. Sailor of the King. So, hi, Elsie. I was just thinking about you this morning. I hadn't seen you for a while. I really was. I'm working on my little toilet paper tube, and I'm cutting out some images to put on it. And I'm fussy cutting. Fussy cutting a few pictures. And we'll just see how many we can get on there. So what have you been doing, Elsie? What you been into? What you working on? Joyce is going to be cleaning. I understand. I understand. She's got to clean the house. We've been cleaning. Joe's been doing carpets for me. And Joe is a no, it's regular Elmer's glue, school glue. Hi, KKM. Hi. Welcome, honey. I don't know you, but I'm glad to know you now. Is your name by chance Kim? KKM? Kim? Kylie. Is your name Kat? Okay. Or are you saying hello to someone else? Hello, Kylie. Your name's Kylie? Callie? Kiley? Callie? Welcome. We're decorating this little book right now. Just doing some crafting on my table. So yeah, just talking and chatting and drinking coffee and trying not to put our glue brush in our coffee anymore. We're not going to do that anymore. I accidentally put my glue brush in my coffee. Have you ever done that before? Well, thanks. I'm glad you found us. Callie. Okay. Callie. Well, welcome, honey. The girls are very friendly here. They're quiet this morning. A lot of them are relaxing and enjoying their morning or afternoon now. So, but we're a fun group, and usually there's not, but about 20 in my group that hang out. So I'm in a small group, but we belong to some other groups. And if any of you girls, yes, I did. Have you done that too, Elsie? Okay. Accidentally put your paintbrush in your coffee. Uh-huh. It happens to the best of us. But if anybody has a channel and they want to tell Kylie their channels, you can tell them. Hi, country girl scrapping. Good morning. Good afternoon. But if any of you, country, do you have a channel? Am I subscribed to your channel? Yes, I am. But I was just telling Kylie, she's new to the room today, and I was just telling everybody if anybody has their channel, I'm subscribed to your channel already, and but I will allow you to tell their channel names if you have a channel name. Go ahead and tell it. So we'll just teach Kylie everything about us. There's 3 or 4 girls that we kind of follow, and every time they stream, we all jump over to their channels because we're subscribed to their channels, and the notification comes up, and then we go run into their rooms. Yes. If you click on anybody's face or their little round icon, it'll put me in the corner, but it won't disconnect me, and it'll take you. You can pick their channel and go to their channel, and you can see what kind of videos they have on their channel, and you can subscribe to their channel. So just to let you know. Just to let you know. So, but I'm working on my little toilet paper book this morning or this afternoon now. And if you have any questions or want to know anything, just let me know. I'll be glad to talk about it or help you. So, but there's a video out, and I think it's on Lisa at My Eclectic Life has a video on this toilet paper book, and they're going to be having another session for. Oh, I'm sorry. That was a Do-Si-Do book. Tanya at This, That, and Chat did the toilet paper book. If I'm not correct, you all correct me. Did Tanya did the toilet paper book? I think she did. And we do a lot of crafts, and we go to each other's class channels, and we watch and do crafts together. And we're doing a Do-Si-Do book right now, and Lisa has a video on it at Lisa My Eclectic Life. It's her channel name, and then we'll be going a week from Tuesday. Now it'll be a week from Tuesday. We'll be going to Tanya's channel to do the binding part of the Do-Si-Do book. And if you're interested in learning how to do a book, all you have to do is search it on YouTube, and you get a lot of other videos. And but I can show you some of the books and things that we've made on some of our channels, and you can see how much fun we have, Kylie. Because if you like to do crafts the way we do, you'll like all of our hangouts. The little book that I'm working on right now is a made out of toilet paper rolls or paper towel rolls, and these were leftover paper towel rolls, and I did a Coptic stitch them together so that they lay flat. And I'm decorating this one right now. This is a mini size, and but we did this one online together, uh, and I believe it was Tanya's channel, and this is a um, an inexpensive craft that cost literally nothing but glue and paint. Everything we had was just recycled things. And this is my TP book, and they have, I've got several pages that I decorated, stamped, and painted, and then these tabs can pull out. These little cards can pull out, and you can put whatever you want on your cards. And I've got some old calendar pages on there, and other painting papers and magazine pictures and hodgepodge of junk journaling. And I did the Coptic stitch where each page lays flat, opened flat, and it's just a conversational bookie. And I'm going to I've got a basket on my coffee table, and I'm going to put this in it and some of the other things that we've made. Of course, I have to put danglies on mine. I like beads and things. And the tassels are leather strips that I have found in a yard sale. Okay, for binding. Okay. Well, any PVA glue is just like Elmer's glue or tacky glue. And you're going to do a bind. Is your binding in a book? Are you going to have a hard book, or are you binding the edge? I can show you a couple of examples. There are several glues that you can buy. And I don't know what exactly you're binding, Allie. But I don't know if you're sewing signatures in, or if you are like this book here is binded with signatures, and this is just a stitch with embroidery thread. This binding here on this particular book was done with tacky glue, which is the Aleene's tacky glue. I think PVA is like, it's just regular glue, like Elmer's glue, like an all-purpose glue. But this is glued together, but it's also got a spine. I put holes in it, and I whip stitched it with some cordage. And this is just just different kinds of cardstock and paper. And so you could put, depending on what you're doing with your spine, if it's going to be in a hard book, then you would want something like I would say tacky glue. You could also use something like an E6000, but it takes a long time to dry. Exactly, wood glue. And Joe bought me this home the other day, and this is wood glue for flooring, and he bought me a whole bottle of it. Wasn't that nice? But it's a thicker glue than just school glue. I think it is. Now, usually the wood glue is colored like an off white, where Elmer's glue is white. And I don't think it used to be. It's not what it used to be. But tacky glue is just like Elmer's glue, except it's thicker, and it adheres faster and dries faster. It doesn't have as much water in it. So I don't know what you're doing with your binding. Okay, liquid stitch. I've never used liquid stitch. Okay. I'm not too picky with my glue. I use a hot glue gun. I use Elmer's. I use tacky glue. I use Mod Podge, and I use wood glue. I use any kind of glue. Uh, I'm not, and I like using the clear glue sometimes. This is the Elmer's clear glue. I use it sometimes too, but I keep a glue jar on my desk, and it's usually with Mod Podge or Elmer's. So, but I'm not real picky about my glue. But I do know that E6000, and I think I have some of that too. Uh, it's a strong adhesive glue. It's clear and it's a gel like, and it takes a long time to dry, like overnight, but it dries very, very, very hard. So yeah, but I do a lot of bookbinding. But I'm not a professional at it. I'm just a crafter. I like just doing crafts. So, but I do a lot of putting in signatures and things. So anyway, I was working on these guys. Oh, and Giovanna said yes paste. Um, yes paste is a type of glue that you can get in a glue stick form, and I've also heard about uh, Elmer's Extreme glue sticks. But for binding a book, I think you would want a liquid like a wood glue or a Mod Podge or a tacky glue. I would choose tacky glue for a binding book. What kind of book are you making? Oh, yes, paste doesn't necessarily. Well, I've seen it in a stick, and it comes in like a little tub, isn't it? Like it's thick. But I have seen yes sticks in the stick form. It would be a perfect bound book. Okay. Well, I'm not perfect. I am far from perfect. You could probably maybe call them before you, if you look, if you want to find it, see if they carry it, save you a trip. Okay, Kylie. It's a type of binding. The signatures are glued together down the spine with a hard cover of chipboard and then glued on Viva the end pages. Okay. I kind of know what you mean. And I am going to do something similar to that in my near future. And I can maybe show it to you if I can find it. But I've got these pages that I'm going to bind them together the same way I did this other little book. Um, I'm not going to have signatures though, and I'm going to bind all of these pages together here with glue, and I'll clip it together, and then I'm going to put duct tape on the to hold it together, and then it's going to go in a book that I laid over here to dry yesterday because I'm gessoing the book. But it has those pages you're talking about inside. This is a deconstructed book that I got from the library that they were going to discontinue, so I bought it, and I'm covered the front of it with this, and I'm going to try to move this camera over a little bit. I must have hit it with my head. And then on the inside, I took out the information that was in the book and cut the stitches here. So I'm going to glue this all of these papers together, and I'm going to put them in here and glue them. And then I've got these pages on the that I can also glue to. I'll get another blank page for right here, and I can glue it there and glue it to the front, and then glue it into the spine, and then this book will be complete, binded. But it's going to be a gluing method. Well, Kim, if you want, if you want to go over to Facebook, you can go to my group, and it's Beth's Crafty Mixed Media Room, and then you ask to join the group, and I'll approve you, and then you can post some pictures there if you want. It's a small group. And we play a lot of games. and and next Tuesday we're going to be playing Journaling by Fives, and it's a game, and that's where I got all these papers from. And it's a journaling game where you make a mess and have fun. And there's a whole bunch of us that will be doing it together. And okay, just go to Beth's Crafty Mix Media Room. It's under my name, and you will see a picture of me and a black dog, or me and Joe. I don't remember what's on. And you should be easy to find me. But anyway, I'm going to be binding this book after we play the game next week, and I will have a video on binding this book. But it's not going to be. It's a craft book. It's just it's just a fun craft book, and I'm recycling this book from the library, and it's going to be glued in here, and then I'll glue these inner pages to the front and the back of my book to hold it together, and it's going to fit in there very nicely. I think it's going to be very nice. It'll be okay. It's going to be fluffy. So, but anyway, we do play a lot of games, and we do prompt games, a lot of prompt games, and we can give you I can give you the names of the other girls and that do a lot of streaming. If you like doing crafts, that's what we do. So, yeah, there you go. And see, I went to the hardware store yesterday, went to Home Depot, and I was in the paint section, and I found this paint book that explained how to waterproof your decks and your driveways and stuff, and it was a free brochure. So I'm gluing it. I've glued the front on, and I've glued the back on with just scrap paper and wallpaper. And I'm going to do all of the pages in here differently, and then we're going to do some art journaling in it. And these open up for more fun pages. So we just make things out of inexpensive things. Okay, great. Well, you'll fit right in because I did this earlier, but I was working on this little bookie right now, which is a toilet paper book. But actually, these are leftovers from paper towel rolls, and for a mini book. And I'm going to continue to glue a few more down here and dry. And we like to help each other out in this group too. And one of the other things I'm doing right now is I'm having a napkin swap. And several of the girls, there's about 12 of them, they're sending me napkins. And it's going on till the end of this April, to the end of the month. You have till the end of April to get your napkins to me. And they're taking 10 napkins. And we started out saying cocktail napkins because they will fit in one of these envelopes, this size envelopes. So if you're interested in doing a napkin swap, I'll be glad to tell you the details of it. You can message me in Facebook to request my address, and I'll give it to you, and you can mail me your 10 your 10 napkins. But if you do that and you want to participate in the napkin swap, you have to send me an extra envelope with postage so that I can mail you back 10 different napkins, because it's a trade. You send me 10 and I'll send you 10. if you like to do napkin art. We like to do everything, all kinds of art. We do, we do. And we do artist trading cards. We trade artist cards. And we do a little happy mail. Yes, clean ones. Yes, clean ones. Uh-huh. Okay, well, let me just give you a little example of some napkin art. Find the right craft book to show you. Oh, here it is. I have a napkin journal where I started about 3 or 4 years ago. Art napkins, but we use dinner, dinner napkins and cocktail napkins to. And these are all napkins. This is my napkin collection, and it's an old a photo book, and I glue napkins in it, and it has pages in them, and I get the napkins, and I make a collage out of them, and see, that'll go here on this page to display my napkin collection. And some of these have more than one napkin on them. This one has 3 different napkins. This is a napkin, this was another napkin, and this was another napkin. And there's Easter napkins and Oriental napkins and birthday napkins. And this is these are 2 different napkins over here. This was a red and blue napkin on the background, and then I glued another napkin on top of it and collaged it. But this is my little personal napkin book that I started 2 or 3 years ago, and it is almost completed. And when I finished completing it, so these are all fall napkins. There's 2 napkins here, 2 different napkins here, and 2 different napkins over here on this side, and I collaged them down. Napkin art. So anyway, this is what I sort of been doing in this book, because this was my first napkin stuff. Well, now we're taking napkins to a bigger level, and we're starting to use them in our art journal pages. And I was going to see if I have any art pages with some napkins on it in here, and I don't think I do in this book. But this is one of my art journals, and we do art pages. And sometimes I might have a piece of napkin on my art journal. Okay. So it's mixed media. We like mixed media. And you see, here's a piece of lace. And I could have used a napkin maybe. But I was just trying to, I don't know if I have a napkin in here, but it's a possibility because it's all mixed media. So you get it now, okay? So there's a lot of other artists that we watch that does napkin art too. So yeah, there you go. But if you do a trade with someone, you'll get 10 different napkins back for 10 different projects. If you like to collage with your napkins, and it's fun. And I've got one of my nieces, great nieces, my great niece. She loved my napkin collection, so I gave her one of each of my napkins that I had in my stash, and she was going to take them home, and uh, she was traveling, and she was going to make her a napkin journal when she got home. That was last summer. I never did follow up to see if she did it. She probably did. So, but we do lots of mixed media. Um, I like to watercolor. I do acrylic painting, um, mixed media stuff, and we play a lot of prompt games. And I don't know if you're familiar with prompt games, but they're a lot of fun. And there's quite a large few of us that does it, and we're all in the same groups. And if you want to check some of the girls, I know that Mary Altieri has a group, and we watched her last night. And she does all kinds of doodling, drawing, collaging. She made a stamp in front of us, a rubber stamp out of an eraser, and she used it in her art journal. And she does a new journal every month, and we always watch. And then she finishes her show off with a story, and we get it, and it's an ongoing story. And I don't know how to tell Mary this, but we want her to continue the story forever because we like it. I think I think Kendra accidentally hit her keyboard. Kendra drifted off. Either that or that's her new passcode. Yes, Mary's here. Mary, I was explaining to Carly that you had a channel, and if she could just click on her little face, her clown face, it'll put me in a corner, and you can join her channel. Oh, it was the kitty's fault, Kendra. So which cat was that? What's your cat's name? She's trying to give us a clue the way Bandit does. Bandit was given a clue, so your cat's joining in. That had to do with our story last night, Carly. There's a cat in the story named Bandit, and we talk about Bandit a lot. Sable. Well, I bet Sable was trying to send a special message to Bandit. But anyway, guys, I don't know a whole lot more. working on this little book. Did I call it a clown? I did. Oh my gosh, I'm in trouble now. I am in the doghouse. It is Penelope. I'm sorry, Mary. I do know that it's Penelope now, and I do recognize it now, but it's just a little circle, and I do wear bifocals. Can I blame it on my glasses? It wasn't personal. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Mistaken identity. Just a little mistaken identity. Oh my goodness. Here we go. I know you do, Mary. I know you do. I can work it off and trade. I can work it off. I'll kick another troll out of your room. Make up for it. I got so frustrated last night. I was trying to kick him out, and I put him in timeout first, and then I was trying to kick him out of the room again, and I muted him or something, and then I finally kicked him out. He didn't get a chance to say anything. Sometimes we get trolls in our rooms, guys, and the monitors with the blue wrench are the people who help protect us. Mary is a very, very good artist. Yes, you are. The doll is the little doll is Penelope, and she has Penelope sitting on her desk, and she's an art doll. Yeah, and she inspires Mary to be a very good artist. So yeah, so for all of you that are in the room, uh, the people in the blue wrenches are our protectors. Because half the time I'm looking down on my art, and a troll will come in, and we don't want somebody coming in saying bad words to us, so we go after them. I had Donald Trump in here last week. He was funny. I put him in timeout, and he said, "I demand for you to take me out of timeout." Came in as another person. He was really kind of funny, but we didn't want a troll in our art classroom. Okay. So now I need two more movie pictures. Fussy cut this little girl out. Yeah. And I don't know I don't understand what his purpose is and why he's uh, doing political stuff. And I can't imagine anybody paying somebody to do that on YouTube. They must be really, really bored, is the only thing I can think of. Yeah, he needs to do something because he's certainly not uh, making any sense to me. But we do try to keep our rooms clean and political free. We're not into uh, that type of stuff. We don't like to push anything. The only thing we like to push is craft items. So yeah. The, one of the things that we like to do, Harley, is we enable each other. If somebody goes to Hobby Lobby and they find a good deal, they'll share it with everybody else. So they'll go to Hobby Lobby. We do that a lot. But we also do a lot of things at the secondhand store. We buy a lot of things there too. Yeah. I still think I need one more picture in here. I might as well pick this one. Hi, Becky. Carly. This is Aunt Beck's Creations that just came in the room. And she's a good one that you can click on her picture and join her channel too. She's a good one to watch if you like what I've been talking about. And Aunt Beck streams on Wednesday nights, and she does a pick 10 game or a dirty dozen game, which is prompts, art games. Becky, I was just telling KKM is Carly, and she likes to do crafts and things. Giving her a few pointers. Well, I swear I thought I saw an empty page. There it is. So anyway, I've been on for a couple hours now. So I'm going to finish this little book and take a break. You missed all the excitement this morning, Becky. I accidentally put my paintbrush in here. My glue brush went into my coffee. So I had to get a new cup of coffee. We had a good laugh about it. I got to take this call. It's Joe. Hello? Yeah? Okay. You talking about Perrines? Oh, okay. I didn't have anything else on our grocery list because we went to Walmart the other day. So whatever you if you want, if there's any other good buys, sure, but we can put them in the freeze. Okay. 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 Because I didn't have we just went to the store, so we should be good for. Okay. All righty. Well, I'll see you in a minute. All right. Bye. That was Joe. He's at the store. We just went to Walmart the other day. Bought a bunch of stuff, so we don't need any more groceries. But I told him if he picked me up some a chicken fryer, like some thighs or legs, that I'd fry him some chicken. And so he's down at the meat market buying chicken. So, wow, Becky, good. How many are you supposed to do today? 10,000 and you've done 18? Yeah, we want to know what you came up with after what happened last night, Becky. Thank you, Teresa. I'll go over and look at it in just a few minutes. So I'm going to put my tabs back in. I guess I need to put tassels on them. It needs tassels. I like this one on top. She's cute. Didn't see a thing. I said earlier, Becky, that I bet you if I was to guess, it was a couple of raccoons fighting over a little scrap of cat food or something that you put out for Spot. At least that's what I'm hoping it was. Well, I'm glad Spot showed up unharmed. She had some commotion on her porch last night, and we were all worried about it. So this is my little mini book. Oh, two guys from three houses down heard the noise and they came down to see if you was okay. Well, wonderful neighbors. Great. Well, Becky, I declare. Yep. Wow, Becky. That is crazy. Oh, well, of course. Duh. Okay, Becky. We'll see you later, honey. Okay, Barbara's got to go to work. Okay. Well, I'm glad it's all over now, and I hope it didn't come back, whatever it was. And I'm going to jump off here too. Joe's on his way home, and I guess I'm going to have to fry him some chicken now that he's bringing me some chicken home. So I'm going to jump off here too. I've got some tassels to put on this, but we did quite a bit today, and I got this journal book started. We'll continue to work on it next time, and clean my desk up a little bit. So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. So I don't know if anything's going on later or not. I haven't heard anything. Somebody might come on. Okay, Joyce. Back to cleaning. Bye, Teresa. Bye, Elsie. Bye, Mary. There's 12 of y'all in the room, so goodbye to everybody else. Bye, Deborah. Welcome, honey. I'm so glad you're here. Bye, Kendra. See you on the next page, Giovanna. You got that right. I like this. Okay, everybody, thumbs up. Yeah, I don't care about the thumbs up. Just don't put me any thumbs down. So YouTube won't get mad at me. Okay, I'm going to sign off. So this is a piece of wallpaper, and it's kind of a creamy color. I could. I think I'm going to just put a little bit of ink stain on it and leave it neutral. I'll think about it. Okay, Mary. I'm on alert for you, Mary, if you come on. Joe bought me some new plants yesterday, so we got to get outside and get them in the ground. All right, guys. I'm going to sign off. So I'll see you all soon. Have a good afternoon.